What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mostly Pizza. Today we're gonna make a really quick sauce. This will be a no-cook sauce, so we're not gonna cook it or anything like that. While I prefer a cooked sauce, those are my favorite types of sauces. Today we're just gonna blend something up really quick, so that way I can use it on pizza tonight. Typical rule of thumb is if you're gonna make a sauce and you're not gonna cook it, it's best to let it refrigerate it for about 24 hours so that way all the flavors combine really well. However, since I am making pizza for dinner tonight, I do not have that luxury. So let's go ahead and get started on this sauce. First things first is we're gonna be using some San Marzano whole peeled tomatoes. These will be the primary ingredient for the sauce. However, contrary to popular opinion, I also use some tomato sauce and tomato paste. I think each of the tomato types give a different type of flavor to the sauce, and they make one nice, delicious, unified sauce. So we'll be using all of that. We'll be using some really good olive oil, some sugar, some sea salt, some garlic powder, some Italian seasoning, and some granulated garlic. We also have some minced up garlic here that I minced up just a moment ago. These will all just be combined, blended very briefly, not too long, because you don't want the tomatoes to aerate too much and get a little foamy. So we'll just go ahead and get started on that. So first we're gonna add our 28 ounces of whole peeled tomatoes. Next we'll go ahead and add our 6 ounces of tomato paste. Again, I feel like this just gives a different flavor compared to all the other tomato types, since this is kind of like a concentrate of tomatoes. So we'll do all 6 ounces of that, more or less, whatever you can get out. Okay. And then we'll do our 8 ounces of tomato sauce. And right in it goes. From here, I like to add more of the dry ingredients, so then I'm gonna do a generous amount of Italian seasoning. If you don't have Italian seasoning, oregano is just as good. I like using various different ones, so Italian seasoning it is. I'll use a little bit of this onion powder. Just throw that in. Again, I know it's not an actual onion. It's not the same, blah, 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 but I think it tastes just fine. And then we've got our granulated garlic. Again, you could say, well, Ivan, you're already adding garlic to your sauce. Well, granulated garlic, I feel, has a different flavor profile, adds a little bit more depth. It's a little bit different. I'm gonna add my garlic just right in. And then I'm gonna add in my sugar. Decent amount of sugar. Some sea salt, a generous amount of sea salt. Probably about a tablespoon, and then my olive oil right on top. As always, use a good olive oil. When you use a lot of olive oil in your food, it tends to come out in the flavors a little bit more often. Throw that lid on, put it on the blender, and I'm just gonna pulse it. I'm not gonna blend it really fast, I'm just gonna pulse it. All we're gonna do is we're gonna make it so all the ingredients combine. We don't wanna blend it up too much. All we wanna do is combine all the ingredients. So we're just gonna pulse it maybe about 20 times. That'll blend up the tomatoes that are in there, and we should be good. All right, so we pulsed it up 20 times. This is what you get, a nice deep red sauce. You can see everything's pretty well combined in there. Everything's nicely combined. That's it. That's all we do for the sauce. The next thing I like to do is, since this is way more sauce than is necessary for one pizza, is I buy these little containers on Amazon or anywhere really, these little food containers, and I'll just put them in the freezer for whatever I don't use. I'll freeze it for, I don't know, a few weeks if I don't use them right away, sometimes up to a month. Typically I will refrigerate my sauce for up to 2 weeks, no more than that. After that, I find that it just gets a little bit more funky, especially if it's an uncooked sauce. So that's why I always like to have something in the freezer as well, so that way I can take it out, thaw it out, and then it's good as new pretty much. Of course, fresh is the best, but you know, when you're not serving a million people food, you need to make sure you're not wasteful either. I'll fill up this little one first. There's one. And then we'll do this big one, because we'll use this today, and then we'll use this in the coming weeks as well. You want to make sure you get as much out of there as you can. This one will go in the freezer. I'll typically put a little piece of tape on it saying the date, so that way I know that it's not there forever. I'll also put some saran wrap over this as well to make sure that's completely sealed and airtight. Same with this one, to make sure I use it within 2 weeks. I'll put a piece of tape with the date of today, so that way it's stored just the right amount of time, and I throw away what I don't use. So yeah, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, this is just a quick pizza sauce to make for a weeknight pizza or anything. This is a no-cook sauce, and yeah, everyone I've served it to has loved it, so I think you'll probably love it too. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.